So one way that you can determine if your system needs a reboot and that you might benefit from having some new software installed is to evaluate your external world first. So do you wake up every day with excitement about the job you're about to spend 8 to 10 hours doing? Do you feel absolutely energized with what you do for a living? Do you wake up feeling rested and joyful? Are you super clear about your vision, your goals, and what do you want to do with your life? Have you built sacred relationships with others where you feel a deep, heartfelt presence with another human? Do you feel heard? And do you feel that you listen deeply to others? Do you feel full of vitality and that you can express yourself creatively? Do you feel that your life is teeming with passion and that you are living full out? How about your health? Do you feel healthy and fit? Do you treat your body like the temple that it is? Do you love where you live? Are you inspired by your surroundings? Do you give back to the earth, and are you a good steward of the earth? Do you know beyond a shadow of a doubt who you are, what you believe, and why you are here? And do you feel connected to your spiritual path? To God, however you define God. These are just a few of the questions that you would ask if you wanted to determine if you are truly living your sacred purpose. And I'll write those questions down for you, and I want you to sit with those and answer those from a very honest, heartfelt space. For Cheryl, she couldn't answer those questions with a resounding yes. There were a couple of them she could muster, yeah, maybe some, maybe on a good day. But for all those that didn't receive a hell yeah, baby, those became the compass points, navigating her towards the areas that she needed the most to work on. Our sacred purpose is divided into 4 quadrants of the medicine wheel. It includes, of course, what you do for a living. That's a given. But it's also, that encompasses your vision and your contribution to the world. And that resides in the east direction. It encompasses the relationship that you have to both yourself and to other people. It embodies the environment that you live in, loving where you are, having the sacred space to come home to, and a healthy body, a healthy mind. And then the foundation for which all those stand on is your spiritual path and how it is woven into the fabric of each segment of your sacred purpose. It's the well of wisdom that feeds you. That it lets you know that you are living to the fullest potential and you are living your soul's calling. When you bring all the energy of each of the directions in the soul archetypes into balance, you will be living and embodying your sacred purpose completely, which is a little bit different than just, living it in one segment. So I want to address a couple of questions that came from the last 2 videos. I think this will clarify some of the key points for many of you. And one of the comments was from Judy, and Judy said something like, okay, this all sounds great on paper, but it sounds like there is a lot to do and a lot to learn, and I really don't have time to dive into an entirely new thing. Are there Cliff Note versions to all of this? Fair enough, Judy. I hear you. And I hear you about the time issue. I think many of us are feeling there just isn't enough time in the day anymore. But in so many ways, the medicine wheel can be integrated into your everyday life in so many aspects that it actually enhances your life and, believe it or not, creates more time. Or at least it seems or feels like you have more time. I do anyway. And partly that is because you are enjoying things more as you bring things into balance and you empower yourself to really let go of those things which are not serving you or feeding you, which is ultimately what leaves you, feeling like you don't have enough time. So you have more time and energy when you let those things go. And no, there are no Cliff Note versions to all of this, because it isn't something that we take in only from the head space or the mental body. The medicine wheel is a living and evolving tool that engages you not only in the mental body, but the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual bodies as well. You become it. The next question that I had came from Sarah, who said, I've tried a lot of various programs and spiritual tools. How is working with the medicine wheel different than everything else out there? And that's a great question, Sarah. I feel like I spent, a large bulk of my life combing through all the various tools, modalities, spiritual thoughts, and belief systems. And it always seemed like, to me anyway, that I resonated with some of this and some of that over there and some over there, but nothing was a one-size-fits-all for me. So for a long time, I just had a hodgepodge of tools and spiritual influences that kind of governed my life. I did, however, always seem to gravitate back towards Druidry and Native American philosophy. And when I found or landed on the medicine wheel, or sacred wheel as the Druids call it, it felt like something just locked into my soul. It made sense to me. I'm a very analytical person. I like to have science behind things. I like to have things organized and etc. But I could look at my entire life through this lens and put everything into perspective and into their places. And I could see how they worked or influenced each other. And from a personal development standpoint, this was like uncovering the Holy Grail, the code that unlocked all the answers that I needed. And yet at the same time, it gave me the flexibility to fit myself into this framework as I am. Meaning I didn't have to conform myself to fit into someone else's box or idea of how things should be. Druidry and Native American spirituality have that same flexibility tool. So the medicine wheel, therefore, can be a tool that can be used effectively by different people with different beliefs or ideas of how their spiritual life is personified. It allows you to, integrate it into your everyday life as well. Through working with the energy, you discover that there is a vein of all the directions pumping life force into all areas of your life at every given moment, which is really pretty cool. All right, I told you that I was going to share some tools with you that will help you to find more balance. And I'm going to just show you one because it is super, super powerful. And whether you are deficient or in excess, this one tool will be the powerhouse for you. And in one of the last videos, I told you that affirmations don't work. I had a couple of you send me an email saying, "What? What do you mean? I use them every single day." I'm going to prove it to you. I wish you were with me personally, because when you experience firsthand what I'm about to show you, there's a huge light bulb that goes off inside of you. But since you aren't here, I'm going to use a surrogate to show you, and that will be Amber. So watch this video. So we're going to show you now how affirmations do not work, and yet shaman mantras do. So the big difference is, let me explain what affirmations are. Affirmations are all those little things you write on a Post-it note and you put on your mirror in the morning and you repeat it to yourself while looking deeply into your eyes. I am abundant, I am happy, I am joyful, all these things. And affirmations have been a big hit for a very long time. But the truth is they don't really do anything for you at all. And I'm going to show you a way that you can transform them into a tool that will give you immediate results. So I can show that to you physically. Amber's going to be my test subject today, and she has graciously agreed to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to you the difference between the two. So Amber, I want you to think about something that creates a lot of stress in your life, or maybe a very sad moment, whatever it is. Oh wait, erase that. Erase that thought.
Okay.
First, put your arm out and don't let me push down. So keep it strong. Okay, this is Amber's natural state. This is where she is showing me that she is strong. I'm given a fair amount of pressure. Okay, now go ahead and put it down. Now I'm going to have her bring into her mind and thoughts something stressful, or it could be a sad moment, anything that brings stress or feeling. Got it? Put your arm back out and keep that thought. And resist. See how she loses strength? So this is, sorry, this is kinesiology, and or also called muscle testing. And when you're muscle testing somebody, you know, for the most part, you can remain strong if you have a constitute that is strong intuitively. So once you introduce something into that system that will weaken that system, then your body no longer has the strength to hold that arm up when you're putting resistance on it. So that's why she went weak. She was in a state of stress, and so this arm could not withstand that. Now, what would you have needed to, like, would it be joy or clarity or protection or love? What would you need given the situation you were thinking about? You don't have to tell us the situation, but...
Joy.
Joy. Okay. So I want you to just say, I am joy.
I am joy.
And keep saying that, I am joy.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I am joy.
Okay.
Joy.
Now I want you to think about that stressful situation and then say, I am joy.
I am joy.
While you're doing that, and resist.
I am joy. I am joy.
Okay, so she's stronger, but she's not 100%. She's still, I mean, that hurt, didn't it? So the affirmations, they go through your mental body. You're verbally saying something, you're thinking about it, but your mental body doesn't have the capacity to change yourself from the inside out. It doesn't have the capability of changing your etheric body. So you can say all the affirmations you want in the world, and they'll help a little bit, but they're not going to be what you really need. So to change that is you take a shaman mantra, and by the way, these were shown to me in a journey with my guide. So I went up to the upper world, and they showed me this whole process, and I came back down here and started trying it out, and it's been amazing ever since. So shaman mantra is basically the same thing. You're still doing the affirmation, but you are now going to infuse your breath with it and blow that breath into the palms of your hands. And there's a couple of things that happen. One is you are taking in that life-affirming breath, but you are also taking that mantra and pushing it into, your hands have all these called nadi chakras, which are very mini chakras, and you're opening those up. And if you think about the meridians for the Chinese, like acupuncture, you're actually waking up those meridians, and it's affecting your entire system. So you're going to breathe in. In that space between the in-breath and the out-breath, you are going to say a mantra, I am joy, and you're going to blow it into your hand. So, I am joy.
I am joy.
And do that 2 more times.
I am joy.
And while she's doing this, I'll also say that you need to make your affirmations affirming. So it is I am, it's not I'm. I'm is lazy. And you always want to do affirmations that are empowering. So you wouldn't say I am loved, you would say I am love. If you say loved, then you're putting that power outside of yourself, and you're saying to the universe that it takes somebody else to love me in order to feel loved. So you want to make sure that it's powerful. So I want you to think about that stressful situation. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
And resist. And she's strong. Now, did that hurt?
No.
So do you feel the difference then between...
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
And Amber's been doing shaman mantras ever since she's met me, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
they are extremely powerful. And so whether you are deficient or if you are in excess energy, if you are deficient, you may need confidence, or I am clear, I am confident, I am love. There's a whole range of things. In fact, I will create a little worksheet you can download below that's going to give you the the shaman mantras you could use if you're deficient and if you're in excess, and that will help to balance out your energy. Do you feel more balanced?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just from a personal note, because you've been doing shaman mantras for about 5 years now, when do you feel the most benefit from doing them?
When I go into Walmart
Yeah.
and when I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah. And so she's saying a good point. It's like when we go out into the world and we feel like our energy is being attacked or bombarded, or we're taking on too much energy from other people, it's a great time to do shaman mantras to balance ourselves back out and to really embody that power within ourselves. So thank you for the demonstration and for helping me out,
pleasure.
helping these guys out.
My pleasure.
All right. And then that's the shaman mantra. So that's your number one go-to tool for this segment. And actually, this is a tool that we use from the Visionary East direction, because it is using words, and it's also using your breath, which is that air element. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe the ultimate transformation that you seek is to live your life in alignment with your truth. Am I right? To live life deliberately and passionately, to suck the marrow out of life. To let go of all those fears and the things that block you, and to step fully into your life, unapologetically. And to embody your sacred purpose and feel that you are contributing to the good in the world. And I hope that you will take the tools that I've given you in these 3 videos and begin to apply them to balance out that excess and deficient energy. You might, wherever you fall in that spectrum. So I've included a worksheet for you to keep and use as you apply this to your life. And remember, in this visionary cycle, if you work on the sacred purpose, clarity for your life, the communication, and if you do all of that, you will see amazing results. This period lasts from March 30th to June 22nd, actually March 22nd to June 22nd, at which point you will shift into the south direction once that starts at the summer solstice. And if you're like me and you find that you prefer structure and you're ready to take this to a deeper level, I have one more powerful, enormously powerful tool to share with you, and that's the mentorship. In the mentorship program, we go deep with weekly lessons and calls and a private forum with just full of amazing people just like you. In this visionary cycle, which begins March 30th is when our class starts, we will be covering the following. I'm going to go through each of the weeks so that you have a really clear understanding of it. So in week 1, you begin rediscovering those lost dreams that you have given up for one reason or another, and you're going to dust them off and see if they still align with your values, and revitalize those dreams that are the deepest inspirations for your life. And then as we move into week 2, you will start dismantling your ego and evaluate and define your values. And through some solid tools, you'll begin rising up in that authentic truth and really start reclaiming your power. In week 3, you're going to start exploring your sacred purpose and how it is reflected in your life or not reflected. And you'll take some of those, rediscovered dreams that we found in week 1 and plot them out within the context of your sacred purpose. I have some amazing exercises for you that will help you to discover aspects of your sacred purpose that you may never have even thought about. In week 4, you will begin looking at the choices that you make in your life, the structure of your self-esteem and your confidence. And then in week 5, you dive into the world of resonance and frequency and vibration and how these can all be powerful allies in aligning yourself with your truth and your purpose for being here. It's one of my favorite subjects because it is just so fascinating. It's very scientific, quantum scientific. And in week 6, you will continue your discovery into the world of sound because I love it so much. But you'll explore it from the edge of quantum physics, and you'll learn how your vocabulary, how words, and everything really carries a resonance, which you can alter your quantum field with. In week 7, you will take a deep dive into the world of prayer and learn how to define this sacred act in a context that has meaningful expression in your life. It's a chance to explore true communion with spirit as well as with your community. And then in week 8, you will discover more about heart-centered communication and how to create the sacred space needed to build sacred relationships. You'll learn the art of deep listening, and we'll even explore some of Marshall Rosenberg's work with nonviolent communication. And then finally, you will round out your 9 weeks with a session that helps bring all these pieces together and learn how to integrate this into an everyday life experience. It's a powerful 9 weeks to be sure, and you will gain not only powerful tools to use in your life, but you will also gain momentum for creating that heart-centered, soul-powered life that is in alignment with the calling of your soul. And these lessons are recorded, so if you can watch them when it's convenient for you, and watch them again and again if you like. I also include homework assignments, which I like to call soul work. Takes out that connotation, old school connotation out of it. And you'll receive supporting information within your class portal. So I'm going to show you this class portal as we walk through this. But every week we will also have a live call with the first portion devoted to more teaching and then time to explore questions. You might have questions about the week prior, the work. Or we'll talk about your journey in general. Sometimes I'll end with a guided meditation or some kind of ceremony. And because we have students from all around the world, I hold these calls at least 2 different times during the week. As a mentor student, you can attend the call that is most convenient time for you, or you can attend both of them, or you can catch the recording of the call afterwards. Finally, we have a private community, and that's called the Slack channel, which is quite unique. For many, this forum is one of the most important features of the program. We have a sassy bot named Dudley, who, if you ask nicely, will give you a journal prompt and a message from your guide, all kinds of stuff you can ask Dudley. We have channels where people can share their journey, their struggles, their triumphs, and sometimes even their recipes for super healthy meals. We share resources and we really have a deep friendship with one another. I've seen so many people transform their lives after being on the mentorship. So if you feel like this is something that you would like to join, I want you to click on the link below to see more information about the program. Unfortunately, because the classes are starting so soon, we will only have this available to sign up for a few days. So please take action now if you feel that this is speaking to you. And remember that this visionary East direction only comes around 1 time per year, where you have this opportunity to work in that super concentrated energy, where you are paddling with the current. And this is the specific time to be working on goals, visions, dreams, aspirations, and all the things surrounding your sacred purpose in the career house. So I want to thank you for taking this time to watch these 3 videos. And I would love to connect with you more in the mentorship, you know, and to be able to serve you in some way. And hopefully, if it's not in the cards for you this time, I hope these 3 videos have given you something, enough to chew on for a while and make a dent in some of the journey that you're on. All right, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in our mentorship portal.